Hello and welcome to another Webcam Wednesday. The videos where you can't see my eyes. Actually, the videos which I make in one take using webcam on Wednesday due to lack of time. Yes, I was thinking about time again today actually because I did it last week, didn't I? Which is that about what are the following words and phrases got in common? Turned a corner, nowadays, anymore, um, beginning to. And the answer is, of course, that they're temporally asymmetrical. They make the assumption that something has happened and it is no longer going to happen, or they make the assumption that something has started to happen and it will continue to happen. And I think it's very important to avoid these kind of phrases if you can, usually, but sometimes it's quite important to use them. If you say nowadays, what you're saying really is that things used to be usually better than they are now, and they've become worse. They've gone downhill. And similarly, anymore is a similar kind of thing where you say something has in the past been the case and is no longer the case. And turned a corner is something that I actually find quite disturbing because I used to know somebody who, when she said she turned a corner, it was usually a sign that things were not actually getting better. They were actually going to go downhill again. She didn't use it, she was fine, but as soon as she said she turned a corner, things were going to get worse, although she wasn't aware of that. And I thought that was very sad for her, really. It was about illness, that was. Um, and I think on the whole, if you're depressed, for example, and you say that the future is going to continue to be like that and something is gone forever, which is what you're saying with nowadays, anymore, beginning to, then it's quite a negative thing to say, and it also commits you to the belief that that is the case. And really, you should avoid that belief because you don't know that it's the case. You do have a future as well as a past, and you don't know what the future holds, and the future won't be like the past, but you don't know how it won't be like the past. Similarly, it doesn't really work very well if you're being positive, because if you're being positive, you then have this situation where you think things are going to be better, and in fact you don't know that they're going to be better, and you're sort of committing yourself to, I think, a sort of castle in the air, and a situation where you're pushing yourself into a future which probably is going to be quite disappointing or perhaps delusional because of that. On the other hand, there are sometimes occasions where it's important to let go of how things used to be and perhaps to embrace how things will be. So when you say beginning to, anymore, nowadays, lots of other phrases, which I think it's important to watch for. And I wanted to make a list of them, but I've sort of made this a bit spontaneous, so I haven't done that. Sometimes it is important to take that on board and say, yeah, this is how things are. This is how things are now. They are not going to be like they are in the past, were in the past, and that can be a positive thing or a negative thing. So I tend to say things like now or currently, because they don't make a commitment about the future, about my beliefs about the future, and they don't influence the way I think about the future. And I think that's quite important because that way you just take things as they come and you don't make things true by believing in them in a negative way, although it is important also to make things true in a positive way by believing in them. So there you go. Bye.